Hello, this is Andrea, and this is part 3. Part 3 of a bit of rambling and a bit of jokes, and I'm just trying to say hi and let people know I'm still here and still kicking. I don't know how much you can see of this, but um, there are people, who in these times, in my country there has been like a major protest, a major protest anti-abuses, stop abusive behavior of prosecutors and shit, and it has been pretty nice. And there have been like thousands of people. They are all dressed in white, and this is something like pretty rare for this country, because we live here like completely under fascism and completely under totalitarianism regime, it's a country completely taken hostage by secret services, and it's a mafia country 100%. So literally for these people who to actually do this protest, I was pretty tired, that day, and I felt literally like I don't know, bad or tired, and I was so happy to actually see other people, that they wake up, and that there are other people also around me, that they see the same shit I've been talking about like years before, like years, also face to face, also on YouTube, also on Facebook, um, about uh, this harassment, also that's been happening to me like since 2016, like overtly, indirectly, but not only, um, and we're back to the same topic that I started these videos in the first place. And you gotta excuse me, because I have so many ideas like in my head, and I don't know how to say or to express myself, like to organize them, in the right order. I wanted to talk to you like about narcissism and people who are narcissistic, who are sociopaths or borderline, and these types of people who become parents, and these types of people who are sociopaths are later hired in the government, are later hired in the unit of education, uh, police, doctors, even psychologists and mental health. I heard and I know there are people who are narcissistic, severely narcissistic, like you go to them and you wait, you tell your problem, you basically tell your symptoms, you say you are depressed, you say somebody has hurt me so badly that my entire world is falling apart, and I don't have like like the tools to organize myself. I need your help, I actually said that. I actually said something similar at some point to a shrink in my life, and she looks something like this, and she said, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So that was the shrink, and ever since then I started basically documenting I read a lot of books by myself, I documented myself, I followed a college of psychology for a couple of years, and I realized I lived around many people with mental disorders like years of my life, and people who are incapable assume like responsibility, or were, at least in that time when I grew up. They matured. Some of them, they matured since then, and I'm pretty proud of them, you know. But some of them didn't, and they are even worse than how they were when I was a child, you know. So there is this topic like narcissism, you know, and people ask, and also I'm asked like many times, why do you keep talking about this, you know? There are many other reasons, there are many other topics that you could basically talk about. Why do you keep coming back to this, you know? And there is a reason for this, and there is a big, very big reason, because many people who are narcissistic and sociopaths, and our society and secret societies, many members of them, they are narcissists and they are sociopaths, you know. Not to say they are rapists, criminals, pedophiles, and all the other titles, you know, Masons, Freemasons. Um, and not only that, this their society, their secret societies have polluted our normal society so bad that it has become the norm, that when somebody is not a Freemason in a town, you know, they are being harassed, they are being gang-stalked, they are being stalked, they are being surveilled. They try to make them a criminal record, like it's happened to me, you know. I never heard these people in this community, in this town, you know, Botoshan and Yash, they are two towns. I never harassed them, I never hurt them, but apparently I pissed off some sensitive people who I believe they happen to be Freemasons, or someone connected to them anyway, because I've talked about this so long and I've exposed them on my videos that I don't find it necessary to repeat it in this video, you know. But they know who they are, and you know who they are now, because I exposed them, at least some parts of them, you know. Why I find it like so important to talk about narcissism is because from education and basically people who are sociopaths, if you think about it, a system who is sociopathic in nature, and this is something that Catherine Thornton, I think, exposed in her videos, and she made this big scheme, you know, where she put points and she showed that the system becomes sociopathic in nature with time, that power corrupts people to such a degree that people who can be good, or people who can have like values, that in time, being part of the corrupt system, they also become corrupt. And this would be actually an interesting psychology study, you know. But beyond that, people who have like mental disorders, I believe some of them are being like unjustly, and many of them, if not all of them, all of us, because they also consider me a mentally ill, of course. Never mind that I talk about their corruption and their crap, because this is the reason why when you ask a question about their corruption, about their mistakes, you know, it's typical for a narcissist to switch blame onto you, to try to switch the conversation and try to make you the one who is guilty, or somebody. Are you feeling okay? Haven't you noticed, like, when you are talking to somebody who you suspect they are toxic, or you witnessed conversation or stuff like this before, you know, and you notice that they treat you badly, next time when they try to treat you badly, let them talk, and you will see these patterns in their behaviors, just for the fun of it. Listen to their speech, you know, and most of the time you realize that they insult you or they mock you having a smile on their face, you know. They smile at you, they smile with the face, with the mouth, but actually they mock you. They mock you. They call you a stupid, an asshole, a loser, a failure, without actually talking these words. But they have this subtle manipulation and this sadism in them. Everyone who has met an asshole or a narcissist or a sociopath can definitely tell you they literally can't stand not being the spotlight in a group of people, you know. They can't stand people having competition. These people are super competitive. They are competitive to a single conversation with them, from an apple being white and something being red, you know. You can't have a normal conversation with a narcissist. They constantly attack you. They constantly um, try to make you the enemy in a single conversation. And this is because of their self-esteem, their low self-esteem, their insecurities, their frustrations. And I'm sure many people know this, but this is also a mental disorder. So it's not just a plaything, this is a real mental disorder. And later on, because I think my time is running out again, I'll talk about how people in the force, people in the military, people in the police, people in the government consciously select these types of psychopaths, these types of individuals. So basically, having to choose between a person who is intelligent, I'm not saying I am, or I'm not, between a person who is has compassion, is an empath, is a strong person. I'm not a loser, I'm not a coward, I'm a strong person, I have empathy, and I'm not a Satanist, you know? Having to choose between a person like me or a person like this that I just described and someone who is a rapist, has some certain degrees of craziness, you know, or a criminal record, they choose the criminal because they want him to be vulnerable, because the system itself is criminal. And I have other things also to talk to you, and other things to show you, and I hope I will manage. But thanks for listening, and I will come back with a more like detailed video, also on the theme of narcissism. Take care.